After the age of 40, many people begin to notice changes in memory and focus that feel unsettling. You walk into a room and forget why. A familiar name takes longer to recall. Concentration becomes easier to break. You may read the same paragraph twice because the mind drifts. For many adults, this triggers fear. They wonder if this is the beginning of serious cognitive decline. But in most cases, midlife forgetfulness is not dementia. It is a result of predictable shifts in attention, stress chemistry, sleep quality, and brain energy regulation. The brain does not suddenly become weak at 40. What changes is the environment the brain is operating in. One of the biggest causes is attention fragmentation. Modern life constantly interrupts the mind. Notifications, multitasking, endless content, and rapid switching between tasks train the brain to stay shallow rather than deep. Memory depends on attention. If attention is scattered, encoding becomes weaker. The brain cannot store information well when it is never fully present. Another factor is sleep architecture. Deep sleep is when the brain consolidates memory, clears metabolic waste, and strengthens learning. After 40, deep sleep often becomes shorter and lighter. Even if you sleep enough hours, the brain may not spend as much time in the deepest restorative stages. This reduces consolidation and makes recall slower. Stress hormones also play a major role. Cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone, directly affects the hippocampus, the brain's memory center. In short bursts, cortisol is useful, but chronic elevation, which is common in midlife due to responsibilities and mental load, interferes with retrieval and increases mental fog. Many adults are not aware of how much cognitive energy is consumed by constant low-grade stress. The brain is always scanning, always processing, always preparing. That state reduces clarity. Circulation is another overlooked component. The brain depends on blood flow and oxygen delivery. Sedentary life reduces vascular function over time. When movement decreases, circulation becomes less dynamic, and the brain receives fewer of the signals that support alertness and neuroplasticity. Metabolic health also influences cognition. After 40, glucose regulation becomes more sensitive. Blood sugar spikes and crashes can create brain fog, difficulty concentrating, and mood instability. The brain is an energy-demanding organ. It needs stable fuel. When metabolic rhythm becomes unstable, mental sharpness suffers. Inflammation contributes as well. Low-grade inflammation increases with age, especially with processed foods, chronic stress, poor sleep, and inactivity. Inflammation affects neurotransmitter balance and can make the mind feel slower. Hormonal shifts also influence cognition. Changes in estrogen, testosterone, thyroid function, and growth hormone can affect mood, focus, and memory. The key message is that memory decline after 40 is often not a single disease. It is the accumulation of lifestyle signals that make the brain less efficient. The good news is that the brain remains adaptable. Neuroplasticity continues throughout life. When the environment improves, attention improves, sleep deepens, stress lowers, circulation increases, and memory often becomes sharper again. In the next part, we will explore the most effective daily habits that protect the brain after 40, restore clarity, and support long-term cognitive longevity without complicated routines. Protecting memory after 40 is less about doing crossword puzzles and more about rebuilding the foundations that the brain depends on. The first and most powerful habit is movement. Physical activity increases blood flow to the brain and stimulates the release of neurotrophic factors that support neuron growth and connectivity. Even moderate daily movement improves cognitive resilience. Walking outdoors adds an extra benefit because natural light strengthens circadian rhythm and improves sleep quality, which directly supports memory consolidation. Strength training also matters because muscle health improves insulin sensitivity and metabolic stability, protects the brain from glucose-driven stress. The second habit is restoring deep focus. The brain cannot store memories well when attention is constantly interrupted, reducing multitasking, creating blocks of uninterrupted time, and limiting notification overload allows the brain to return to deeper processing. Memory is not only about storage, it is about attention depth. The third habit is sleep consistency. The brain consolidates learning during deep sleep. After 40, protecting sleep timing becomes critical. Going to bed and waking up at similar times strengthens circadian rhythm and improves restorative stages. Evening overstimulation from screens and stressful content reduces deep sleep, so creating a calmer wind-down period supports brain recovery. The fourth habit is stress regulation. Chronic cortisol elevation makes recall slower and increases mental fog. Simple daily downshifts, such as slow breathing, quiet walks, time in nature, or reducing constant digital stimulation, lower stress chemistry and improve cognitive clarity. The fifth habit is nutrition that supports brain function. Omega-3 fats, fiber-rich foods, colorful vegetables, and minimally processed meals reduce inflammation and support neurotransmitter balance. Ultra-processed snacks and excessive sugar create metabolic swings that worsen brain fog. Hydration also matters because even mild dehydration reduces concentration and increases fatigue. The sixth habit is social and cognitive engagement. The brain thrives on meaningful interaction and learning. Reading, conversation, skill building, and curiosity keep neural networks active. The goal is not mental strain, but stimulation that is steady and enriching rather than chaotic. The seventh habit is long-term rhythm. The brain is an organ of patterns. When daily life becomes more regular, the brain spends less energy on constant adaptation and more energy on clarity and memory. Midlife forgetfulness is often reversible when the brain receives better signals: stable movement, stable sleep, stable metabolism, lower stress, and deeper attention. The most important takeaway is that memory after 40 is not a cliff. It is a system. When you support the system, cognition improves. Many people discover that they can feel mentally sharper in their 40s and 50s than they did in their 30s, not because time reversed, but because lifestyle finally aligned with biology. Protecting your brain is one of the most powerful longevity investments you can make, and it begins with small daily habits that compound over decades.